Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today it's top end rebuild day on this ATC125M engine. I just got my top secret parts back from Dr. ATV. Now this is a 56.5mm piston that I'm helping him test out, and hopefully if this whole thing works, you guys are going to have pistons in stock to rebuild these 84, 85, ATC125 and TRX125 engines. So let's round all the parts up here and start putting this thing back together, and we'll see if this is going to run. Okay, so there's nothing worse in my mind on a freshly rebuilt engine than a bunch of gray or pink gaskets sticking out all over the place. So we're just going to fix that situation with a little bit of a Sharpie marker. So what's going on with this piston? As many of you ATC or TRX 125 owners might know, pistons are really hard to come by for these things. So how this video and how this idea transpired, a few weeks back on the TRX and ATC 125 Facebook page, this page here, I saw a post from Dr. ATV out of Nebraska saying he's looking for somebody who could test a potential replacement piston that he can get in quantity for these engines. So I said, dude, and then I replied back to him and he said, dude, and a couple days later, this showed up with a 56.5mm bored cylinder. So plan in this video is to put this thing together, make sure we're clearancing the crank, the valves, all that jazz. We'll fire it up and see if this is going to run. So I think I'm going to try to put the piston in the cylinder first, and then lower the whole shebang down, see if I can get the wrist pin in that way. Okay, what's the intake side on these guys? That side. Intake side. Intake side. Let's see if we can get these guys in here. There we go. Before I put the piston in the cylinder, I already had it on the rod and I rotated it around, make sure the skirt was going to clear the crank, and everything seemed fine there. So that's good. Should be able to slide this guy in here now. Installed. Yes, sir. We are clearing the crank. So here are those interesting little oil seals that are different on the 125s compared to the 90s and 110s. The whole sleeve just kind of slides in this gasket. That pops right down there. Yeah, first time doing one of these 125s. And this head gasket, metal head gasket on this kit, this is a stock bore, but we're thinking we should be A-okay on this engine. On the later one, I think I'm going to have to try to find a 57mm bore for the fiber gasket. Look at how pretty that Hemi is. A lot nicer than it was before. Just a little bit. These are just a real pain in the butt to get in.
The intake's closing, so you'll be coming up on compression stroke. Top dead center.
Okay, so right now we're getting close. We're on fire. Top. Yeah, I see that in there.
Okay.
And our little dot on sprocket is right there.
Okay, should be in time then.
Well, before I had the cylinder on, I made sure the skirt of the piston wasn't hitting the crank. That seemed good. Last step would be if the valves are going to hit the dome on the new piston. I don't think they're going to, but let's just turn this over a few times and see if we hear anything. I think we're okay. Well, I'm getting pretty excited here. I'm getting everything pretty much down to the nitty-gritty where we can start this. Just need to adjust the valves, put the advancer on, and should be getting really close to having this thing ready to fire. Well, dang, I thought it was going to be game off because the seal was bad when I took this off. And I thought I ordered one, but I guess I didn't. But luckily, I had some probably ATC 90 or Trail 90 parts hanging around, and it looks to be the same seal for the crank or the cam. So we are in business again. Seal looks good. Good, good, good. All right, my favorite part of this, getting this little pin set in the cam without losing it. And I dropped it. Get in there. Get in there. All right, it's in there. Now, unfortunately, I made the mistake of pulling this off of here when I pulled the advancer out. So I need to make sure I'm back in the right direction, because this can go, funnily enough, 180 in the wrong direction. So if that's up like that, I believe we're going to be like this. Yeah, I scratched a little mark before I took this off and scratched a mark on there. So I should be able to just line these guys back up, and it should be back in time. But right about yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, that should be good. Now where are my screws for here and here to tighten this guy down? In one of these bags somewhere. Right about there's where it was. Perfect. Holy cow, these JIS impact bits I just bought, these things just grab. Well, all right, look at how pretty this thing turned out, folks. But I just realized something. I don't have a wiring harness or electronics for this. I wanted to get this thing running, but without that, I'm kind of up poop peak without a parachute. Wait a minute. Got an idea. All right, before I go about finding a wiring harness, let's make sure all the coils are doing their thing, so we're not chasing some other weird gremlins. That is good, coming off there. So now, where's the red? There we go. Right there. Oh, stay in there. I'll just hold you. And we are good. Okay, now that we confirmed the stator and the pulse generator are good, now we need to go find a wiring harness. Ah, look. Wiring harness. Yep, this is all I got to work with today, so I'm just going to unplug all the doohickeys from here, plug them into there, maybe make some jumper wires to go from there to there, take some jumper cables, connect the engine to the engine, and this should run. Let's see. What do we got here? All this original stuff. That wire I need. Those wires I need. Other ones are going to be over on that side. So all I've got for a decent usable carburetor for this right now is this knockoff for a Trail 90. Not quite the right size, but it should get us to the point where we can at least get this running. That's gone. Okay, we got throttle. Yeah, since the wires for the pulse coil are just fried on this thing already, I'm just going to pull these off. I'm going to make an extension that goes over there for that. And then we'll fix that up at a later date. Yeah, that is a work of art. So now, I should be able to ground the engine over to here. We'll use the red just to be naughty. Is that going to clip on? Where's that one to clip on? Not there. Let's put that right there. Now over here, something that's not, that should be grounded there. Yeah. Get the spark plug wire over to there. This should fire. Let's see if this monstrosity is going to run here. You got the throttle, choke, and starter. Way to go, Dr. ATV! Way to go! I think we might have a runner here. Good job.
Lost your ground here.
Lost my ground?
Ground fell off.
Okay. Well, everybody, the 56.5 millimeter hyper double secret piston from Dr. ATV, I think it's going to work in this 125. All right, let's try this again. Well, how cool is this, folks? I think we might have a winner with Dr. ATV's 56.5 millimeter piston for these ATC and TRX 125 engines. Yeah, the little testing I did on the bench here, I don't see any problems so far, so that's a good sign. I'll get it in a bike here, probably that blue bike, in a few weeks and do a little riding with it and see how it compares with the old worn out motor that's in there right now. But I'm really, really excited about this. Yeah, you know what else I'm excited about? Right here. I also got the piston in the mail yesterday for the 87-88 TRX 125 engine, and I'm going to be rebuilding this here within the next couple days, and I'll get the video out. You know me, I'm going to get it out eventually. So yeah, if you want to see the later 125cc engine come together and see how it works with Dr. ATV's new piston, that will be out here very soon. But in the meantime, if you want to see stuff like this, or more stuff like this, you can either click on the video on the left or on the right, and I'll see you next time. Alright, I hope you liked this episode of Bigfoot Bikes and Brews. Click on one of the videos here if you want to see some more, and please click on the Bigfoot button to subscribe to the channel and join in on the fun. See you next week.